Oh, hi. This is Ajay. Please, if you're watching this right now, can you subscribe to my YouTube channel and then share this information so your friends and family will be able to hear? I will appreciate if you do that. Because I want a lot of people to listen to this information, because it would help them, it would change them, and as the Bible has always said, that know the truth and the truth will set you free. There's something about truth that it elevates, it motivates, and it increases your faith, and it also gives you confidence in every single thing you do. All right, that's the truth. There's something about the truth. So this is what I'm actually going to be bringing you today. It's always about the Bible, and it's always about history behind the Bible and how we can actually move forward with the Bible, and also how the Bible was taught to us. So I will begin with how the Bible has been taught to us and how it has actually affected us negatively. Not because the Bible itself is negative, but it's the teachings that comes out of the Bible or comes out from the mouth of the people intend to be negative or have some negative impact in us, especially as Africans or as a black people as a whole. As I said, Africa is the center of the world. I mean, when I say it's the center of the world, Africa, people depends on Africa. People feeds on Africa. Without Africa, the whole world will not exist. But then again, Africa is the most hated country in this whole world. Africa is the most disrespected country in this world, especially Ghana. When you're Ghana, let's say you're an African, you're Ghanaian, but when a foreigner comes to the country, the foreigner is treated fairly, is treated nicely, better than you. It's the mindset. It's not, people don't just want to do that, but it's the mindset of how we see ourselves, and how we see ourselves and how we see other people above us. All right, because if you see somebody above you, you will do anything for that person to stay above you, because you see the person as a god almost. You see. So this teaching should be able to elevate you and then change your mindset on how you view the whole world as a whole. Let me start by saying Africa began, everything began in Africa. The world's civilization began in Africa. When I talk about civilization, it's like the people who eyes were open, people who begin to see how they can actually develop a nation, people who see how they can build different kind of buildings and different kind of stuff, had a sense of, understanding the sun, the stars and all those things. These are our forefathers. They knew all of that. And of course, now the world has actually come and pick up, or the world has actually come and study from them, because, all Europeans came to Africa or to Egypt in order to acquire this knowledge that they have today. All right. So that's why I came out with a book. No, not me coming out with a book. That's why my last video, I talked about the destruction of African civilization, how we got distracted. We were kings, princes and queens, the pharaohs and all those things. And now all of a sudden, we are now at the bottom of the world. What happened? How did we get to this point? How did we get to this point? Some of us don't even know that our forefathers used to be great, because of how the Bible or how things has been taught to us in school and history and all of that stuff, education system and everything, how things has been taught to us. We don't even know that we were once great people. We don't even know, so we don't see any value in ourselves. We don't respect ourselves, because we don't know that we are actually part of this world. We are actually the one that has actually engineered every single thing for everybody to follow. If we can understand that concept, and we can actually embrace that concept, our thinking will be different. Our mindset to life, our mindset to things will change. So how did we got distracted? How is Africa is still in a state that is in right now? We cannot stay in that place forever. We must shift something. Something must shift. All right. And I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of something positive. The reason why I have not come to YouTube, because to me, I cannot come to YouTube and talk about things that don't make sense, things that don't have any impact to change lives. So I waited, I contemplated for so long, all right, and now decided to come, because it'll also be unfair, or it'll also be be bad of me knowing that I've got this gift, I've got this knowledge, and I'm not coming out to share this knowledge with the world. So that is what I'm actually here to do now. So please share the video, let other people also hear it, okay? Africans has been distracted. We have been distracted with Islam. We have been distracted with Christianity per se. No, I'm not talking about the actual Bible itself. I'm talking about Christianity, the so-called Christianity, and how Christianity is supposed to be. It's framed in a cultural way that is supposed to be systematic in a particular kind of way. And if it's not in that systematic kind of way, then anything outside it is wrong. You see, and every time you see that something is systematically has been arranged for you to follow a certain pattern one at every single day, you need to pause and ask yourself questions. Where is this leading us to? Where is this leading us to? What kind of destination is this leading us? All right. So my point is, Africans, we are the God's chosen children of God. We are the God's people. The world needs us to survive. They need Africa in order to feed. They need Africa in order to be who they are, because without us, they can't survive. Plus, they all came through us anyway. The Arabs, the Europeans, everybody came through us. So I'll probably call us the grandfather. I'll probably call us the grandmama of this whole world. Maybe some of you now in Africa don't really understand what I'm saying as much, but maybe the people over here, maybe somehow will relate to me a little bit because as I said before in my other video, that there's a lot of information that has been kept from us. Because at the end of the day, if we look even into slavery, how the Europeans came to enslave our people into America, they weren't taught to read. They didn't let them read because it was taboo to read, because they know that if you read, you'll find information. All right, so it's the same thing that when they did colonize Africa, when we went read, we were given a limited information for us to read. That limited information is not going to take us anywhere. But there is a lot of information that we need to grasp. There's a lot of information that we need to get that would actually set us free. So my main argument, my main debate, my main point is the Bible is a good book, but the Bible is African story. Okay? And it's not for everybody else. It's for African story and African story only. And for Africans only. It might sound a bit controversial, but it is what it is. The Bible talks about the dry bones. Okay, the dry bones. Ezekiel told Ezekiel and God, in a meeting, and then they saw the dry bones scattered across the world. Like black people, like Africans, we have scattered across this whole world. We have scattered in Arabia, in the South Sudan, everywhere you can find us. In Australia, in America, we have scattered every single where, not by our will, but we are scattered sometimes maybe by slavery. All right, so we have been scattered like that, and because of that, the dry bones that the Bible was talking about is actually us. It's scattered, and it looked like there's no life coming out of it. There's no life coming out of that Africa. There's no life coming out. It looks like there's no life coming out. It looks like the Africans will not unite again as the great army that we used to be. So Ezekiel and God debated on it, and Ezekiel said, God asked him, do you think Africa, or do you think the dry bones will become life again? And Ezekiel said, only you, God, know. As a lot of black people, a lot of Africans right now don't even believe that Africa will survive. Well, Africa will rise up. A lot of us, we don't even know that Africans will rise up one day. We don't know. You see? But I tell you, there's a time coming, there's an awakening coming, that our people will awake and begin to realize themselves, and then now go and pick up their own identity, who they are. You see? Who they are. So, this is Kwame. There's a lot of information I'm actually about to bring out, but this is just the brief information. I would like you to share this information, and then hopefully there's going to be more. But I say this: God loves you. God loves you. God loves you as an African. God has been dealing with Africa for so long. If it wasn't for God, all the injections they've been giving us, we would have died a long time ago. All the Ebola they've been sending to Africa, we would have died ago. You think the Ebola just spring out from Africa? No, it was impacted. You think the disease was just spring up? It was impacted. Somebody just want to wipe us out from the planet. We need to open our eyes and know our enemy, so we can stand against the enemy. The Bible talks about be vigilant. Be vigilant. so you can see the strategies of your enemy. When we talk about the enemy, yes, the Bible talks about we do not wrestle against flesh and blood spirit, but against principalities and rulers of this dark world. Yeah, so it's the rulers of this world. It's the people that rule this world. And who are the people that rule the world? Those are the people that are our enemies. Those are the people that are saying that Africa is developing so much. Africa is growing in numbers that is going to push the animals further, or maybe they're going to die, or the animals are going to die. In that case, they have to come up with a strategy to wipe down some more Africans in order to save the animals. So we have been treated as less than animals. The information is out there. We have been treated less than animals. So we should stop talking about what you call it. We stop talking about monies and here and talking about favor and your mom is doing this, and start waking the mindset of our people. Because once the people in mind are awakened, once the people understand what they're supposed to do, you won't need them to be poverty. As somebody says that if you take the evil out of people, they'll be acting right. If you take the evil out of people, they'll be acting right. So this is my message for you today. My name is Ajay again, and God bless you. You have a wonderful time. Please share this video. It's gonna be on YouTube. I want you to subscribe because I want a lot of people to subscribe. The more people I see, the more encouragement I get in order to put more. So hey, peace out.